Hello, my dear gardening friends. Just the other day, I received a notification from David Austin Company that our beautiful catalog of roses for 2023 is in the mail. The excitement is building up. And I'm sure that new orders are going to fly in soon. So I decided that this is a time to talk about the differences between own root roses and grafted roses. Why it is important when we buy a rose to know is it on its own roots or on a graft, and the advantages and disadvantages of these two different groups. I already did the video on this topic, but since then there is very interesting new development coming up in modern rose growing, and I want to address this issue. This not an issue, it's a new interesting tendency. Hence, I decided to refilm this topic and talk about grafted versus own roots once again. So for beginner gardeners, let's figure out what's the difference between grafted and own roots and what is this all about, all these strange definitions. So basically, own root roses are roses as any other plants growing in the wilderness, which are coming into the soil from seeds or from layering or from taking cuttings from the mother plant and putting that cutting into the ground. These plants create their own roots, they send those roots into the ground, and basically the whole plant is one plant. It's called own root plant. But because the rose growers invented this interesting system to graft a different rose on a different rootstock, hence we have to come up with a definition of own roots and grafted rose. So here are the pictures how own roots will look versus grafted rose. When you look at the formation of the plant, you see this gnarly knob, and usually it's called bud union. That's where the rose growers grafted a different rose onto the rootstock. So by definition, grafted rose will consist of two different plants. The top part would be the rose we desire, and the rootstock would be generally very popular rose, very hardy, very vigorous, depends on the area where we garden. For example, in the United States, David Austin grafted all the rootstocks on Dr. Huey. In Europe, I believe it's Laxa rose. In the south, it's a different graft because there are a lot of nematodes in the soil. But when you go to David Austin website, if you see a grafted rose, it is on Dr. Huey rootstock. So we cleared out what's grafted versus own roots. Now let's talk about why it is important to know when you buy a rose. Well, when you buy a rose and its own roots, basically what you do, you just replant it in your garden at the same height, the level soil as it is in the pot, or as it came from the nursery bare root. So you plant it at the level it existed in the nursery soil, and you're done. You don't need to worry about anything. But when you bring the grafted rose, it all depends where you live. When you live in warmer zones, zones 9 and up, you can put the graft union above the soil. And that union, which is the weakest point of grafted rose, is not going to be frozen, damaged by freezing conditions, which are usually present in colder climates. But when you go in temperate zones, zone 8, let's say, you can do bud union with the level of the soil. Me, who lives in zone 7, 6, I definitely have to bury the bud union all the way down under the soil from 3 to 4 inches. And why is that? Again, as I said, that bud union is very vulnerable part of grafted rose, and it can be easily damaged by freezing conditions. And very often, that's what does kill a grafted rose. The problem with bud union: too many shoots are being created there. Too many cuts are made all the way to that bud union, and it becomes with age, it starts to look gnarly and old, and a lot of things can go wrong there. So when we bury, in my climate, zone 6-7, when I bury that bud union lower under the ground, I don't even see what's going on there. I just trim all my canes, and I make sure that canes don't die down all the way back to the bud union if I have a grafted rose. Now let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of those two groups. The tendency right now among rose growers is to offer the suppliers more and more choices of own roots. Since now people want to garden in a more natural way. They don't want to use pesticides, they don't want to use sprays. They want to have a plant growing in a more natural way. And growing roses on rootstock is unnatural. It really is to the advantage of rose suppliers. Since, let's say, I have my beautiful Lady of Shalott rose, and all the people on the internet see this beautiful Lady of Shalott and they want to buy it. But the rose producers don't have so many of Lady of Shalotts to offer to the customers. So once they see that the demand of Lady of Shalott is increased, they go ahead, they have thousands and thousands of rootstocks of Dr. Huey growing on the fields. What they do, they graft on them Lady of Shalott, and in 1 year they have all the thousands of Lady of Shalotts to offer to the customers. Meanwhile, if they want to produce Lady of Shalott on own roots, they have to wait several years for that plant to establish and start producing blooms. So the disadvantage of own root roses is that they are slower to develop. And right now I'm doing an experiment in my garden. I have an arch, and on one side on both sides I planted two New Dawn roses. These are beautiful climbers. They received the first plant pattern in 1930, I believe. And one of them is own root and another one is grafted rose. So I want to see how those two will perform through the years. Although the grafted rose is in slightly less favorable position, it receives less sun. So I was watching them, this is the first years I'm performing in my garden. I was watching them and I think that their success would be kind of equalized because the grafted rose still is growing in less sun than the own root rose. But we will see, and I will keep you posted. The advantage of own root roses is that once they are established and once they are well anchored in your garden, like my Lady of Shalott, two of them are growing on their own roots, they are great, powerful performers. They are healthy, they produce well, they are well anchored in the soil, and there are no suckers. Whew, you don't need to worry about that. And what is this? For a lot of gardeners, this can be a deal breaker, and I hear a lot of rosarians talking that they hate suckers and they will never buy a rose if it's grafted. They want own roots and that's it. So what are suckers? Well, especially if the bud union is above the ground, sometimes that very vigorous root system can send shoots just under the bud union. And since it's under the bud union, the genetic tissue is of the rootstock, which is the rose Dr. Huey, let's say. And Dr. Huey is very powerful, horribly disease resistant, but it's like a phoenix. It recreates itself every year and doesn't worry that it's almost being killed by black spot. So it can overtake the rose if you're not careful, if you don't watch, and suddenly your rose changed color. Especially the beginner gardener says, oh, something happened to my rose. My rose was of this beautiful pink color, and suddenly it is red. What happened? Maybe too much frost. No. This is a rootstock taking over. And the sooner you address the issue, the better your rose will be. Otherwise, usually the rootstock overperforms the rose and just takes over. And in several years, you will just have a red rose growing. And good luck if it's Dr. Huey, because Dr. Huey is fairly presentable rose. But some rootstocks are really sending a lot of blind shoots and they really don't look like anything. So don't be surprised if your rose is changing color. If it happens in your garden, it's time to take charge. And usually what we do, we trace the rootstock all the way to the root system and we yank it out. We don't cut it. We kind of tore it apart. I know it sounds brutal, but that's a way to make sure that to discourage new new shoots to appear. There is also an advantage of a grafted rose is that it performs much faster in your garden, and the performance is stronger thanks to a stronger root system. I do have generous gardener growing in my garden, and it is on different rootstock, and I see how in a way strong and stiff it is. It shoots many strong, thick canes into the air, and I consider it a little bit of a disadvantage of that rose that it has such strong, especially at the bottom, the growth is very stiff and strong. So actually, if you ask me my suggestion, what I should advise own root versus grafted, I would say I would put it back to the gardener, since some gardeners are impatient, and I can understand that. It takes several years for own root roses to get established, and some gardeners want gardens right away. Of course, I know that feeling. I'm a gardener myself, and I can't wait for my roses to grow in beautiful, lush, create beautiful, lush canopies, my baby roses. So for those of you who really don't have time, go for grafted roses. But you have to make sure that you will stay on top of suckers and you will deal with a short life of that rose. Because grafted roses usually have this weakest point, the bud union, as I said before, and that bud union can do the rose in. Usually that's what happens. When something happens to that bud union, the top rose is dead, and then you have a rootstock, which is Dr. Yui, let's say, if we're talking about David Austin roses. But if you're buying own root roses, you don't need to worry about suckers. Your rose will take time to establish in your garden, like 1-2 more years, but then you will have this wonderful performing rose which has the same roots anchored well into the soil, doesn't have that bud union, which is the weakest part. But for me, the majority is dealing with suckers. But because I live in colder zone and my bud union is way down under the ground, I really don't need to deal with a lot of suckers. That's probably people who are living in warmer climates, where bud union is above the soil. That root system of a different rose is more exposed to the surface, and the tendency is that that rose will create more suckers in warmer climates. For me, really, I maybe had one sucker through all the years I'm growing roses. And I really don't have a big collection of roses. Right now I have around 20 roses in my garden. And I do share grafted with own roots, but I really had only one sucker growing. And I really think it's because my root system and bud union is buried so deep, since I garden in colder zone, borderline 6, 7. Now let's talk about this interesting tendency. What's happening right now on the market? Well, several years ago, when I was buying David Austin roses, when you go on David Austin website, he was offering, I must say, like 6, 7 varieties of roses, which were own roots. And then next time I was buying, there were probably 20, 25, I might be mistaken, don't quote me on that. I believe several years ago. And now I checked, and there are almost 60 varieties of roses on David Austin website, which are own roots. So please do keep in mind, if you don't specifically buy from the section where it says own roots, you might receive either own roots or grafted. This is a new thing. In the past, if you wouldn't specify, by default you will receive grafted rose. And if you would specify own roots, you will receive an own root. But now people are telling me, who are ordering for David Austin website, if you don't specify, you might receive either way. So it always pays, if you want to have own root roses, go into the section where it says own roots and order the rose you like. Please let me know under this video, what is your preference? Are you growing own roots or grafted roses? And how do you like them? How do you like the performance? I am curious to know. I do read all your messages and I do appreciate it. Happy gardening. I will see you in my next video.